Under the law, all offenders in federal custody are eligible to be reviewed for parole at some point in their sentence. The Parole Board of Canada is responsible for making decisions on whether or not to grant, deny, revoke, or cancel parole, and to authorize or approve temporary absences for these offenders. By law, victims have a right to information, participation, and protection while the offender who harmed them is under the PBC's jurisdiction. The PBC is committed to respecting the rights of victims in the conditional release process. A victim is defined as a person who has suffered physical or emotional harm, property damage, or economic loss as a result of a crime. The following people can exercise a victim's rights if the victim is deceased or not able to act on their own behalf: a victim's spouse, a common law partner who has lived with the victim for at least 1 year prior to the victim's death, a relative or dependent of the victim, anyone who has custody of the victim or the victim's dependent. If you are a victim of crime and want to receive information about the offender who harmed you while they are under the jurisdiction of the Parole Board of Canada and the Correctional Service of Canada, you must first register. To respect the privacy rights of victims who do not want to receive information about the offender, registration is not automatic. To register as a victim, simply visit the Victims Portal website and complete a registration request. Fill out the Request for Victim Registration form available on the PBC's website, or call the PBC toll-free Victim Information Line at 1-866-789-4636. The Victims Portal is a secure online service that allows registered victims to access information 24/7 about the offender who harmed them from the Parole Board of Canada and the Correctional Service of Canada. To create an account, simply visit the Victims Portal website and complete the registration request. If you are already registered as a victim, you can request a Victims Portal account by signing into the portal using your GC key or through a secure sign-in partner and entering your information. Once registered on the portal, you can receive information about the offender, request to observe an offender's hearing, and/or present a victim statement, request copies of PBC decisions, and request to listen to the audio recording of a parole hearing. As a registered victim, you have the right to receive specific information about the offender who harmed you, such as the offender's name, their offense in the court of conviction, their sentence start date and length, and their eligibility and review dates for unescorted temporary absences and parole. You may also receive additional information if your interest in it outweighs any compromise to the offender's privacy that could result from its disclosure. This can include Parole Board of Canada decisions, special conditions imposed on an offender's release, and whether the offender has appealed a decision. You can also request to listen to the audio recording of certain hearings and request copies of PBC written decisions. To request a written copy of a decision, check this option when registering as a victim, or complete and submit the Request for Decision Registry form available on the PBC's website, or modify your preferences in the Victims Portal. As a registered victim, you have the right to submit information to the Parole Board of Canada at any time related to your safety concerns, the offender's risk to reoffend, and/or the effect the crime has had on you, your family, or the community. Victim statements can detail the physical, emotional, or financial impact the offense has had on you, and request that special conditions be imposed on the offender's conditional release, such as for no contact with you or your family members, or geographical restrictions. Information from victims helps PBC understand the seriousness of the offence. It also assists in assessing the risk of the offender re-offending if released, and if special conditions are needed to manage the offender's risk in the community, especially if they will be living near you or they are a member of your family. As a registered victim, you have the right to attend Parole Board of Canada hearings of the offender who harmed you. Hearings may be conducted in person or virtually by way of video conference. Hearings typically last several hours and normally include board members, a hearing officer, a CSC parole officer, and the offender. They may also include other participants, such as an elder, if it is a culturally responsive hearing, and observers, such as victim and offender supports, members of the public, and media. To attend a hearing, simply complete and submit the Request to Observe a Parole Hearing and/or Present a Victim Statement form, available on the PBC's website or through the Victims Portal at least 30 days before the hearing. The Department of Justice Victims Fund provides financial assistance to victims, as well as a support person to attend PBC hearings. If you have prepared a victim statement, you can read it at the hearing yourself or designate a support person to read it on your behalf. You can also choose to submit your victim statement in a pre-recorded video or audio recording, whether or not you attend the hearing. Board members will consider your statement in their decision-making, regardless of what format you provide it in. The PBC's website includes a checklist to help victims develop their statements. For more information, visit canada.ca/victims-and-parole or call the PBC Victim Information Line toll-free at 1-866-789-4636.